The tube of you is loading up
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
The Book of Faces, however, but
Mm-hmm.
the Book of Faces is
Mm-hmm.
a little
Mm-hmm.
bit slower, but it looks like the Book of Faces has
Mm-hmm.
responded to my
Mm-hmm.
demands to
Mm-hmm.
broadcast
Mm-hmm.
live
Live.
the MAFS. Don't say that too fast because it'll sound like something you don't intend.
It might sound like something else.
Who thought of this? Like, whose idea was it for us to have this as a title and moniker?
uh I might have to claim. I might
I
have to
think that
claim.
somehow we came up with this organically. The first
Hmm.
program that when we had no name.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
hey Nikki.
Indeed.
Hashtag shared. Hey Frenchie.
Yeah.
Yo, Frenchie like is not broadcasting at her broadcast time because she's watching us, Quest.
Oh wow.
Did you hear about that? Did you know
Oh
that?
wow. I didn't know.
I
I
know
did
that.
not know.
I'm telling you, Frenchie has been on
Yo.
and she put out there that she's not gonna be on because she gonna be busy. Hashtag the group crew right here.
That's
So
yeah, yo. Frenchie
love
been down like four flats from day one though.
big
You know what I'm
time.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. What up?
yeah.
Ronnie Jacks, what up?
Ronnie Jacks. Yup.
I gotta
Yep.
see that dude one day. I mean, I gotta meet the dude one day, man.
Oh, no doubt you do. I call him Mr.
Out
5
there.
a.m. That's what I call him, Mr.
Yeah,
5
yeah,
a.m.
yeah, yeah. I picked him up. If I picked him up, I picked him up one
Mm-hmm.
time, once or
Mm-hmm.
twice, not once. Yeah.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right. Well, it looks like all systems are go.
Bang!
And yo,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I walked in the gym this morning and one of the trainers said, "Hello, Mr. Fitness." I was like, "Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
40
Yeah.
almost 45, almost 45 and they call me Mr.
Yeah.
Fitness. That's not bad.
You know what I'm
That's not a
saying?
bad thing.
We not mad at it. You
Not
know what
mad
I'm
at it,
saying?
yo. You could call me a
Uh,
lot of things like Mr. Big Belly. Like you call me a lot of stuff, but it ain't like that. So hey,
it ain't like that.
thank you, trainer dude. All right.
It ain't like that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So here's the thing, right? For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, or
Mm-hmm.
you may have forgotten, this is your second time.
Mm-hmm.
We are about to go ahead and push out a live broadcast. I know you're watching live, but the actual broadcast for the
Mm-hmm.
Marriage Ain't for Suckers program right about now. And so when we
Yep.
sound like we know what we're talking about, that means
Halfway.
that
Halfway.
we that that we are underway and live. And yeah, so Ayana's starting to see your paint choices and artistic changes and
Yeah.
adjustments. Quest, you painted the
Yeah.
room.
Oh
Exclamation.
no, no, it's a different room altogether.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he relocated the room.
Yeah, I relocated. I relocated and threw up a couple of my little, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
All
The
right.
homie, the homie, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Malik, stand up.
Yeah.
Five Digler.
Yes, indeed. Rest in peace.
Yeah, yeah. The memory is still here, man.
Yeah, no
All right.
doubt.
So yeah, so in a minute, we're gonna sound like we know what we're talking about. And
Mhm.
Quest and I will be LIVE, and this dude is gonna be doing what he always does. So I can't speak on it. We'll just see what happens. So how
Do
about
they even do that anymore? I don't even know if they do the name anymore.
dude, I have no idea. You asking the absolute wrong. I didn't know. I had no idea. Like I see you doing it, and now it's funny. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't. I can't. I'm gonna just go ahead and push
Go
this.
ahead, man. Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
go ahead and say quiet on the set, man. You see that button right there? It says go live. I'm gonna go ahead and go live.
Go live, man.
All right. to it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What are we talking about today?
Yes, indeed. What up? What up? What up? It's your man's Quest, and this is the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. I am your host with the most, alongside my co-host, my man, my mellow, my man, L. David Harris. Yeah.
What up, though?
Get on the mic.
Yeah.
MC.
Yo, class is in session, my mans.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Welcome to everybody. Come on in, catch you a seat. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it in, man. Oh my gosh. I'm glad that I could hold a little bit of myself together.
No, you got it, man.
Cracking up, and I was just like, anytime I see anybody else cracking up, I kind of start cracking up too.
It's OVER. Oh,
because I'm an unapologetic flamingo, so you already know.
Yeah.
Yep. So what's going on, my dude?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, indeed. I must say it's good to be back home. It's good to be back in the lab.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? We was in Chicago week number 1. Second week, we was in Florida. Shouts out to everybody in Florida. Shouts out to my moms, my step pops. Shouts out to Siesta Key Beach for giving me the lovely place for worship every morning, and for my wife and my two official beach bums. They're official beach bums.
Word up.
Oh, they love the beach. I mean, it was a knockdown drag out when we had to leave, especially with Mason. With Mason, it was a knockdown drag out. That brother was ready to fight somebody because he had to leave the beach.
That's the one time I sanction it, though. Like the little boys should not want to leave.
Yeah,
they shouldn't want to leave. They shouldn't be like, okay, daddy,
they didn't want to leave.
Let's go back in the house.
Yeah, no doubt.
And look at 4 walls.
Yep. Shouts out to everybody in Chicago too, who came out to the Rated R event. We had such a lovely time. Special shout out goes to Tim and Shonda Morris. Oh, man. Those are my aces right there, man. Had a lovely time. Stayed with them while I was in the Chi-Town. And of course, you know me, when I go to the cities, D, I don't care about seeing the sights. I want to go to the hood. I want to see my people.
You went to Chirac, huh?
Oh, I went to Chirac, bro. We went to the south. We went to the south side and we went to the west side of Chicago. Okay. Yep.
Well, you back, so that's good.
Yeah, we back now, man. Safely back, man. So yeah, man, just had a good time. Shouts out to them. I'm ready to get it in, man. Yep.
Yeah. Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing, man. Because I got an announcement to make. Like,
is it the same announcement that I'm thinking about?
Nah, I doubt it.
You doubt it? Okay.
Yeah, I doubt
it. I want to say that if that's not the same announcement, I just want to go ahead and say, oh yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Shouts out to L. David Harris and Quest Green. Shouts out to Marriage Ain't for Suckers. I know that might be a little conceited, but trust me, I'm not being conceited. I'm really more grateful than anything else. Our territory is being expanded.
Yeah.
And now we are available on Spotify.
Yeah. Yo, it seems easy, but it isn't. Like I'm on Spotify with some other stuff, like audio books and stuff. But the podcast thing was hard, dude. Like it was rough. You know, it was like, yeah, welcome. And then it's like, wait 6 weeks and we'll get back to you. And I'm like, really, dude? What happened? So, you know, and 6 weeks was longer than 6 weeks. So big up to those on Spotify. Hello. Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm grateful. Big Daddy is opening up doors and enlarging territory for us to get this message out in a couple more ways, man. So shouts out to Marriage Ain't for Suckers and being on Spotify. So, yep, you have another way that you can listen to the podcast. If you're rolling down the road and you're looking for something to listen to, open up your Spotify app, search out Marriage Ain't with an apostrophe T for Suckers, SUCKAZ. Yep, and you can pull us up on the podcast and Spotify and rock out while you're driving down the road and get some tips so that you can have a phenomenal marriage. Yep.
Good stuff, man.
Yep. Well, shoot, as we going, let's go ahead and knock everything else out. Shouts out to Breathe University. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. I'm trying to tell y'all over and over again, the community is growing and growing. And I promise you, I think it's growing like a church, D. It's got to be at least at its 4,000 or 5,000 member mark now. We are all over the world now. I was looking at our global map yesterday of where all of our memberships are. And we got memberships all around the world. I'm talking about on little island, remote islands, 1 or 2 memberships there. We're all over London, Australia, South Africa, all over up and down West Africa and some parts of East Africa as well.
So you got the continent on lock.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. We're doing things through Europe, and all for the purposes of becoming better, whatever better means to you. Better in terms of personal development, better as an entrepreneur, better as a business owner, better as an employee, better as an employer, whatever better means to you. And more importantly, and close to home for me, better husband, better wife.
Word.
Yep. All of that is going down. And I've just been named one of the ambassadors for the Southeast for Breathe University and for the meetups that happen within Breathe You. So if you want more information, if what you've been doing has not been working for you in terms of the skills needed, the mindset needed, and just being able to be developed, right? Then search no more. Stop by breatheuniversity.com, see what we got to offer. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Yes, indeed.
Word. Well, today's program is brought to you by Audible. Get your free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/marriage. With more than 180,000 titles from which to choose for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And today I'm making a recommendation with my man Quest.
Yes.
For the audio book titled The Power of Praying for Your Adult Children.
Wow.
Yeah, The Power of Praying for Your Adult Children by Stormy Omartian. Just get that last name right, because I know there's another Stormy in the news a lot lately. We're talking about Omartian and The Power of Praying for Your Adult Children. And yeah, that wasn't intended to be funny, but it kind of worked out that way. Yeah. So much for the mute button.
I'm sorry.
Questament, the new Questament.
Yo, that's hilarious.
I guess you done listen, you lost the composure. The first joint, it worked, but this one kind of it leaked out. It's all right.
That one was hilarious.
It wasn't supposed to be. That's my fault. Next time I will not editorialize.
Do better.
Yeah, Stormy Omartian.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Oh man, where we at today, D?
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, okay, so since we making jokes, it's not funny. Today's title is no.
Yeah, no.
Intruders allowed.
No intruders allowed.
Yo, did y'all see that graphic though with the two snakes?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
no
so
doubt.
that means that intruders come in many shapes and colors, and it's not just one kind.
Oh man.
Yeah, so none of them. We barring access to all intruders to marriage, bro.
Well, yo, D, I'll tell you what. I'll receive the message if you will play the sender. Go ahead and drive the thing home, man.
Yeah, watch this. I'm gonna throw you an alley-oop early, and I think you'll be able to finish it. Yeah. So you went away, maybe just out, and you got back home, right?
Yeah.
And word is there was a snake near your residence.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It was in the residence.
So tell us a little bit about that story. It was actually a little snake. Carry on.
So I was in Chicago.
Yeah.
And early one morning, my wife FaceTimes me, and she says, actually the day I was coming home, she FaceTimes me and she said, look, and I got my daughter on the doggone kitchen table, and she's on the steps across the room, and she goes over there to the actual thing, and she holds up the camera, and she sees the tails flapping in it all over the place on the floor, right? Yeah. So as she's flapping them on the floor, I'm like, what's that in the thing? She was like, a snake got into the house, and they're freaking out, man, and they're all over the place. And I said, well, go ahead and take it out. And they're like, no, we don't want to touch it. So they called fortunately, my daughter has a friend that lives up the street, and he came in and it got stuck in one of those little, you know what I'm saying? We had like a mouse coming in and out. We didn't know where it was coming in, how it was getting in. So we put a trap in there. Unfortunately, the snake got caught in it, and he gets pulled out, and he takes him outside, of course, and puts him in a bag. I come home. They didn't want to touch it. The bag was in the backyard. I said, just leave it out there. I'll take care of it. So I took a picture of it. I opened up the mouth to see what kind of snake it was. It didn't have the two fangs, right? It didn't have the two fangs. So I saw a line of teeth going back. So I'm like, okay, this is a constrictor. So I took a picture of it just to be on the safe side, and come to find out it was a boa, right? And a baby boa. And so that's what we found out it was later on. But some way, somehow it got in. They freaked out. But of course, I came home, took care of it. It's dead. And now,
the rest is history.
Oh, the rest is history.
And now we have fodder for a program. Because here's the thing, man. A lot of times when spouses are separated and the snakes show up, they don't kick them out. They don't run away from them. They don't separate. They entertain the snake, Quest.
Yep.
I mean, the snake, we can start from the basics. Snakes are the obvious. I mean, sometimes there are people who don't mean anything good for your marriage. So let's start with the basic level. Sometimes people intrude upon our marriages with sexual advances. Maybe it started out what people might consider to be innocent. I don't think none of it's innocent, but sometimes people, slowly become inappropriate with each other. Somebody's given your spouse a little bit too much complimenting on certain areas of their life or their physicality, if you want to call it. And then they start noticing details of, I noticed that 2 weeks ago, thus and so was the case, and it's not now. How is life? And it's like, you're noticing all of them details. And then sometimes it's like, so, how's Quest doing? Or how's Dave doing? Oh, he's fine. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. And wait, when I said his name, I noticed, is everything okay? And then that buster starts slithering in, Quest. And so what Faith did in the real scenario with the snake, along with the rest of the family, was that she broke contact. She separated. She didn't have a conversation with the snake at the tree. And say, well, no, everything's okay, but, well, okay, so, I mean, everything's okay. I probably shouldn't be talking to you about this, but you understand? So there are those kinds of snakes that are the obvious joints that's kicking down the door, coming in your house, trying to sex your spouse intimately in the mind or in the body and mind.
Well, here's the difference in between the two, right, D? Yeah. Because we know that the wiring or the circuitry between the husband and the wife,
of course,
are different, right?
Yes.
So if you want to appeal to the husband, then you use the you know what I'm saying, the visuals, right?
Yeah.
And so she may come talk to you in a low cut blouse with a bust popping out. You see what I'm saying? Or the shortcut skirt. You know what I'm saying? Or however it is. Then there's the flip side of that, where if you want to get to the wife, you do it through the emotions.
Yeah.
My pastor and them boys just walked in. So,
yeah.
But if you want to get to her that way, you know that the route to the body is through the emotions. If you want to get to him, it's through the visuals, right? And so what ends up happening is, what do you do when you're approached with the temptation? What do you do when it comes right to your face? Do you entertain it like Eve did? Or do you shut it down at the front door and say, listen, I belong to somebody? Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah. And what I've discovered, Quest, and it's not just for this, but since we're talking about this, is that the decision, the principle of the decision needs to be made ahead of time.
Yeah, no doubt.
You don't wait until your gas gauge is beaming yellow or amber or whatever, and say, well, I guess eventually I'll get some gas. Like, you should, like, ahead of time, make a decision to say, yo, if I'm going somewhere, I'm going to need to get some gas, because, you know, you don't want to get stuck, right? And
Absolutely.
so when it comes on to these kinds of decisions, any person who is married, especially married, needs to be thinking, not paranoid, not, looking for somebody throwing you signals that isn't throwing you signals, but you should say ahead of time, I'm so committed to my spouse and my spouse family and all of the people who watch our marriage for encouragement that should something like this come my way, we knocking it completely up out the park with the quickness and not entertaining it. That's the key. Like the not entertaining it part is key, because sometimes we think we're stronger and smarter than we are. And I've seen a lot of cats take a L by thinking that they're men and women, by the way, take a loss because they believed for whatever reason that they were stronger than they were.
Well,
And so
see,
they
here's
had
the
already
thing.
started crossing the line before, it was, they could even do anything about it.
Absolutely. Well, you taking the L because you're not doing what's necessary in order to create intimacy. Like if you leave a gap or if you leave room, like there's some dudes who still like they take the ring off every now and then to see if they still got it.
Really?
You understand what I'm saying? You creating the environment for foolishness to take place or for the enemy to put foothold in your marriage. You understand? But you got to close it. Huh? Yeah.
See if he still got it.
Oh, to see if he still got it.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, it's some of them still doing it. It's women out there that's still carrying on like they just want to go into certain places to see if they still got it. You know what I'm saying? To see if they still get the dudes giving them the eye or whatever the case may be. You setting up the environment for foolishness to take place.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then when it actually happens or you get into a predicament, now the temptation has gotten a little bit stronger. What do? You feel me?
Yeah, I'm gonna drag it into a zone that people be sleeping on, and you're naive when you sleep on it. So
yeah, no doubt.
Right. So in Matthew 4, Luke 4, there's this expose on 3 temptations that happened to Christ, right? And from the devil, obviously. He's in the wilderness, he's fasted 40 days, now he's hungry, and the devil comes at him. First temptation, it's a temptation. We won't go into the details, and Jesus's response to it was biblical. He lived Bible. He spoke Bible. He abided by the truth of the Bible.
Come on.
The next temptation, though, the devil comes again with this insinuation of doubt. That's what he did the first time. But what he did the second go around was he said, all right, you like holy stuff? All right, you brought up the Bible. I'm going to bring up the Bible. You like holy stuff? I'm going to take you to the holy city. I'm going to take you through the holy word, and I'm going to show you the holy I'm going to take you to the holy temple.
Absolutely.
Right. So what am I saying that for? Because there are people who don't recognize that the devil will show up at your place of worship, in your environment of worship.
No, you didn't.
And insinuate himself and say, oh, your wife, your husband isn't so much into faith as you are. Right. But there's this other person over here that you're more compatible with. Why don't we just team them up? And then you find yourself planning all hours of the night, sharing WhatsApp and text messages, having to have meetings. Everybody else got to leave early, but not you and not that person. And now you're on an emotional roller coaster and you're like, but what happened? A whole lot of happened, but carry on.
Okay. No, I'm just saying that what you just said, now that brings me back to the importance of core values.
Yeah.
See, when two people get together, they think that just being in love or a certain level of chemistry is an adequate enough foundation to build marriage on. What are your spiritual values? What are your morals? What moral cloth are you cut from? What are your social views? Do you have any social responsibility? Or do you just, do as you please? You know what I'm saying? Just because you can do something don't mean you should actually do it. Right. So what I find where we mess up in some places is that I just got a phone call today, as a matter of fact. One sister was running down like all the issues that she was experiencing, and how he don't want to talk to no counselor. He don't want to go to no therapist, because, amongst our people, that's like taboo topic.
Here we go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you take your car to a mechanic. You call the plumber when something go wrong with your plumbing. But if something going wrong you won't call a therapist. I don't get it. That's a whole nother story altogether. But I'm saying that as I'm asking her the questions, D, I'm like, who did your premarital coaching? She was like, well, we wanted to, but I wanted to, but he didn't want to. And I was just like, but you went ahead and married him? They had lived together for like X amount of years, and then they finally decided to get married. I was like, oh, okay. And then I didn't really say nothing to her because I wanted her to, develop her own decision making, because I don't want to be responsible for telling her some whack stuff. But I'm like, yo, you made that bed. That's the bed you made. So now, as it relates to what you were saying to me before, when you're now faced with the challenges and the difficulties that you created, what did you expect?
Yeah. Now, all right. So you got that scenario, but then you have in the same sort of space, you have persons, because Nikki's asking a question. I know we don't normally field it from here, but Nikki's asking a valuable question, bro. I'm going to put it in the zone of breaking contact. Yep. That's what I'm going to call it, right? This is how I'm underscoring it. I think I'm already answering your question, Nick, but here we go. So you have like Quest. Quest is a pretty nice dude, man. I like him. That's my man. Known him for a long time. And a lot of other people like him too, but a lot of the other people are females, right? But they like him in a different way, right? So before Quest is married, he got a lot of homegirls, right? Maybe one of them, I'm not saying this is true, I'm making up this scenario. Maybe one of the homegirls is a close friend. Like as long as we've been friends, Quest. Like I had one, like Tasha Mirage was my people's like that. Like we used to lie and tell everybody we were
back in the day. Yes,
so your little kids, that's cool, but I'm 45. I'm gonna be 45 now. Like it's not cool, right? But let's just say, okay, so you got this best friend, but now you're married. And you're not 6 anymore either, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like, can your best friend that's a female be your best friend again? Like, can she be your best friend still, Quest?
And you married?
Yes, that's what we talking about.
Yeah, nah.
Unless your best friend is like 70 years older than you.
That's like the 211 for foolishness, like for real. No, I'm just saying.
What's the 211 class? We got to into
It's the setup. I'm sorry. That's the police code for the setup. That's the 211 for foolishness.
We got a 211 underway.
I'm telling you.
Jacking your marriage up. You cannot have a best friend that is not just, the opposite sex.
Because here's what happens. You know that we're creatures of relation. We're relational creatures. So what ends up happening is if you spending time with this person who's of the opposite sex, and you sharing feelings, emotions, all kinds of stuff. Like, what you think is going to happen after a while? Like, I ain't stupid.
Yeah, and you don't have to be paranoid. You don't have to be spooked. It's just not appropriate. Even if somebody says, well, I've had a best friend for the last 12 years and nothing has ever happened. Fine. It is not appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm
just saying.
It's not appropriate. All right. So, okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, Faith is my best friend. Let's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Okay. Well, there you go. Craig said, not if you want to stay married, but okay. All right. I don't think I had to put too much more into that, but okay. I didn't want to super over contextualize this thing.
Right.
But there are other kinds of intruders, Quest. Like that have nothing to do with the kind of stuff we've been talking about. Like there are people who intrude upon our marriages because they want to have an opinion and verbalize it about stuff that has nothing to do with them.
Absolutely.
Like I've had people intrude upon how we move, literally. Not
sidebar. And that's why you got to be careful about who you let in your inner circle, right? So there's a revival going on at the church this week. The pastor was preaching a sermon, and he was like the same dude that's telling you, like, for real, you need to get rid of her. She doing all of this stuff to you. You need to go ahead. And she did what? Oh, go ahead and divorce her. And then 6 months from now, you looking on Facebook and see him hugged up with your same wife that he told you to get rid of.
Your same wife.
Yes, your same wife. Yeah. So
you don't need to stand for that.
Absolutely. So sidebar.
Yeah.
You be careful of who you let into your inner circle, number one, and you be careful who you share your information with.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, I don't share my information with nobody.
Point exactly. Like if there's an issue between me and Faith gonna go lie down and we gonna do what we call pillow talk, where we lie down. Like, and it ain't none of this. It ain't none of this. You don't see me popping off. You're rendered vulnerable, right?
Okay, understood. And I got that. I heard that. I heard.
And when you're rendered vulnerable, you get to say exactly what you mean without. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and we work it out between the two of us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt.
The problem's between the two of you, isn't it?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, or potential problem.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. So so you have your wife has your wife, but your wife out there, y'all out there, your wife has a girlfriend, and your girlfriend, you know, she can be married to. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. She may be married to, right? And if she's married, she's supposed to know better. But now she's literally minding your business, like you live in. I don't know, Quest, you live down south in the US. So let's say you live in a 3,000 square foot house, right? Because in the South, that ain't nothing, you know.
Yep.
You got a 3,000 square foot house, right? And because you, I mean, you in the age bracket, you know, things start going well at 27. And in them kind of places, you know, you might relocate from somewhere bigger. And by the time you reach down south, you're doing pretty well for yourself. Got 2 6-figure earners in the house, and this and your wife's girlfriend's opinion for y'all to get a 5,000 square foot house, and now she's like, "Don't you want to move?
Yeah,
don't you want to move?
Yeah,
no, I'm good. No, but well, my husband and I, we decided we were gonna move and get a bigger house, and." You know, I'm thinking, I mean, it feels like, what if you got more people coming to visit? Like maybe you should have a bigger house because those folks over there got a bigger house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now your wife, whoever you are out there, is coming to you saying we need a bigger house, not because she's gullible, but because the pressure's on. Because the culture in the community is we kind of do things similar.
Let me ask you this though. What allowed that pressure to take place?
Yeah, you tell me some scenarios. Give me some.
I'm just saying, like, how strong is the connection between the two of you where outside pressure can come in and tell you what's good or not good for you and your marriage?
Yeah, because sometimes what it is just it's friendship that seems to be kind of in a vacuum where we're just talking, we're just passing, but now the friend is just constantly saying the same thing over and over and over and over. And now, you know, your wife comes home and she's like, "Yo, I'm tired of you know, my friend saying this about, you know, the house." And then now the husband is like, "So why did you bring it up? Why don't you just tell your friend?" Well, but I was just saying, like, it's bothering me that, you know, but I mean, do you think we should move?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
And now you have an intruder on some silliness.
Oh, no doubt.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of changes based on silliness. Now I've seen this, like, I'm not making it up, bro. I'm making it up the details. So I'm not telling nobody's business, but I'm talking about that very thing, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this like, mind your business. How about you mind your business?
Yeah.
Like, why are you worrying about it?
Intruder.
Intruder alert.
No doubt. You know, they have a saying in Jamaica where you fast.
Yeah.
Or in Trinidad, they say you're my business. Yeah. Which means that you like other people's business better than you like your own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At what point, though, do you coach her through the process and let her know, look, whatever's going on over there, that's their business.
Yeah.
And whatever they want or whatever they're doing, that's their business. That's not our business here. What are we doing that's good for us? What are we doing that? Like, I started taking on this mentality now, David, where my marriage is my client. And you know that when you have a client, you know, and you're providing a service, that you're going to do everything that you could possibly do to make sure that your client is happy, right?
That's right.
And so that's the same thing here. What are we doing that will allow our marriage to be happy? What are we doing to properly service it? Because that is more important, way more important than who we are individually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we gave two hypothetical, but they really weren't hypothetical.
Yeah.
Types of scenarios. Now, how do we principally, I mean, true enough, there's so many details. Like, okay, so Nikki, in-law intruders, that's where I'm going, Nikki. Parent intruders,
you already know.
Friends intruders, the list goes on. But how do we principally deal with the intruder piece, man? Because we got to give them a little something and let them go, man. Like, how do we insulate the house to where...
If you want to insulate the house from intruders, create boundaries. Create boundaries. Flat out. No, flat out. Create a boundary. If you want certain things not to come in, right? You create the boundary. I remember one time, and I can't speak too much on it because I don't want Faith to kill me, but there was a situation.
It's a good start.
Yep. Faith was actually wanting something to take place as far as it relates to extra family. And family was saying they wanted this to take place. And I had to tell her real quick before I had to tell them, like, that's not going down. Because if anything happens, they're going to know all of our business. And once they know all of our business, they're not going to know when we make up. You understand? They will not know when we make up. And so they will develop their own feelings and attitudes towards what we have. And that goes for my parents. We got 3 sets of parents, right? Because my parents were divorced, but now they're friends, but also married to other people. And then there's her parents as well, right? So the kids have 3 sets of grandparents, and we make sure that whatever we do, there's a certain boundary. Now, I'm not saying that we don't share things with them, but we only share things with them to an extent. Why? Because anything outside of that, when they get hold of what's going on, because I'm their son or because she is their child, automatically, you're going to lean towards your own child because it's your child. Very few times do you have parents who are in the position or healthy enough to say, you know what, I heard the situation, but really and truly, you're wrong.
Objectivity is out the window for most people.
Yeah, we have fairly decent parents. If it get real deep, then, you know, they're going to be like, oh, that's my baby. Or her parents might be like, that's my baby. In light situations, they might say you're wrong or you're wrong. But at the end of the day, blood is thicker than water. You understand? And so you already know.
On this one. I'm quiet on this subject right here.
I'm just saying, D, when that happens, they will take the side of their child, and they won't see when you make up. And when you make up and everything is good between you and your spouse, it ain't good between the parents.
Okay. Yeah. So the principle is, you first of all set up a zone, man. There needs to be a zone in our marriages overall, where we have become the most important individuals to one another. Not because, again, we're paranoid, not because we're saying it's an us against them, whoever the them is situation, but we have pledged to be one flesh forever, Quest.
Absolutely.
And then when you bring children into it, they are a product, a fruit, a blessed fruit of the one flesh. And you're making an investment over the course of the child's life to where they can make a healthy decision of one fleshness when they find a spouse, right?
That's it.
And so everybody else is liable to buck up into the zone of intruder. It doesn't matter who it is. It literally doesn't matter. Like if you got a husband, you got a wife, that's the new family. There's a fruit that comes from that family. They're called children. Yeah. Anything else?
Intruder.
Not because we got a problem with them, but if they make themselves an intruder, then, you know, there's a consequences to that, because we have to make relationship adjustments. Absolutely. And sometimes even worse. So the point is, like, we need to be setting up zones. Some of the zones have to do with us making positive and consistent investments in the emotional, physical, and every kind of way, the holistic selves of our spouses.
Indeed.
So that even if we're not physically around, like, it's not like me standing up and be like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. It's a matter of, now that we've created such a healthy environment in our household, that the opposite spouse is automatically like, no, that's not welcomed here.
Yep.
No, that's not welcome here. You've crossed over into the zone, and that's unacceptable. And we stand up against that zone, because we want to continue in our lives the way that we have mapped out, not the way somebody else has chosen for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's one thing. There's a ton of things. We should probably do programs on 3 or 4 of them independent of one another. But bottom line is, we have to make the investment in our own households, so that no matter what happens, we're the ones that's going to be with each other. We're the ones that are making the investments over the life cycle for each of us. So anybody else, you know, I'm so sorry. It's not welcome. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we can just push a pause right here before we have to really do therapy over the internet.
For real.
Do not intend to do in this particular case. But yeah, that's it. No intruders are welcome. It doesn't matter who they are. Friend or foe. Apparently, anybody who intrudes at the moment needs to be checked appropriately, and in solidarity. And Lord bless you while you keep your marriages intact, because otherwise you're gonna mess it up. Don't mess it up, because you didn't get into it to mess it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Stay focused, man.
All right. Holla at y'all next time. Lord spares life. Peace. All right, y'all.
Give me 1 second, D. 1 second.
So Quest got to go do something, but hey, it's just us folks right now, us chickens. So shout out to Frenchie again, Nikki, Kiwami. Who else is out there? Let's see. Michael Allen, what's up? He follows with another program every single morning the Lord gives. So big up to you. And who else? Ronnie Jacks, what up? Officer Craig, stand up. And of course, my man Sasha, what's good? Who else? Damon Leggett, what's up, Dame? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you alive and kicking. Sonia McCullum came through. And Ali, what's up, B? Hope we can get in the same room again, man. That'll be good. And Raina Morris, yes. It looked like Nikki invited you, so thanks for coming through, Raina. It's a blessing, and you already pushed through on Spotify. That's a blessing. And
wow.
Yeah, somebody's already checking the Spotify joint out. And
it's
that's
live
all
on Spotify.
I can see. Huh?
It's live on Spotify.
Wait, when you say live, like it was live, like
that's what I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I saw it earlier when we were pushing it, and I thought I saw the icon there, so that's why I was asking you.
Oh, I don't know. I have to look into that. I don't know if Spotify does live. I know that some of our other carriers are doing it live. Okay, somebody said yes, it is. Raina says yes, it is. Okay.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Word up. So that's a blessing, man. Now I know. So we gotta kind of be cognizant when we bigging up the iHeart and TuneIn people that Spotify got it running live. I wish all of them would carry it live, but you know, it is what it is. It's all good.
Yep.
All right, y'all. So I looked through my list, and Leon Brandon was the only one I missed. So what's up, Mr. Brandon? Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Kiwami said, y'all finished already? We need to get some more of this. Hopefully we coming through Trenchtown soon. Lord spares life, Kiwami.
No doubt.
So
No doubt.
yeah. It's all good. Nikki want a part 2 next week, man. You committing or you not committing, Quest? I don't know.
Hey, I can commit to it because it's a whole lot of stuff we definitely can go in. It's a lot of boundaries, a lot of places.
All right.
Work, family. So we can definitely hit the part 2.
All right. So we're going to do a part 2, y'all. And yeah. So that's what's good.
Yeah.
All right, Quest, you got something to say? Otherwise,
shaky to good to great. Ultimately, you want phenomenal. And last time I checked, D, they ain't handing out phenomenal. It's not like you could go to the store like, yeah, let me get a box of phenomenal.
Yeah, let me get a box of phenomenal.
They ain't handing that out.
Nah.
Yeah, in order to get phenomenal, you got to do work. So yeah, work specifically on not letting any intruders come in.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? For real. Don't let the intruders get in. Them jokers. Oh,
no bueno.
I'm telling you. Oh, D, yeah, we definitely got to do this part 2.
Yeah. All right. All right, y'all. All right.
All right. Peace. Peace.